Tell me, baby, where we're going. Can you tell me how far you've been showing me? What I need, what you hold so tight beside me. Can you show me what this love has been?
It's your girl Claire Lyrics, and I am back with my YouTube channels. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm working on getting a mic. I got my fan on because, as you can see, I am pregnant. I'm actually 10 months pregnant. I am 40 weeks plus 2 days. So I am 2 days overdue. And I really wanted to get a chance to make this video, come on here, and really just have a moment to talk about my pregnancy. This is baby number 6, and this is my 3rd daughter. So I wanted to come on here and talk about my journey during this pregnancy, how I feel, some of the things that I really want to share, and hopefully that can empower women as well on their journey, and overall just show you guys what my plans are, what I did, what helped me, you know, some really helpful pregnancy tips, and then we're just gonna wrap it up with some things that I have in mind for the future. So with this pregnancy, there was a lot of fear around what I wanted to do. Because me and her father did not work out, it created a lot of trauma for me, and it created a lot of resentment towards that situation, because my daughter, before this pregnancy, I had to navigate by myself completely, because her father is not in the picture. All of my other kids, thank the Most High, were manifested out of love. And between these 2 pregnancies, I have learned a lot about myself. And although we both, me and her dad, did at one point in the beginning really want to have a baby, I think we just were moving too fast. And then of course a lot of things went on in that relationship that caused me to end up completely just walking away. And so hopefully I'll talk about that at some other time. But if you follow me on Facebook, you most likely have seen me speak about the situation and what had transpired between us. So, you know, coming into this pregnancy and being by myself now with 2 little girls pregnant, I instantly was thinking this might be the one that I get rid of. And although I've never experienced abortion before, I truly was considering it, to the point that I literally had my flight booked, my hotel booked. The clinic I was gonna go to was in Minnesota, so I had to make my way there because of the new abortion laws. And at that time, I was around 15 to 16 weeks, maybe 16 to 17 weeks actually. And everything was planned, my mind was made up. I feel like I was in prayer. I was in just this state of, God, you know my heart, you know I can't do this by myself. Like, you know, I was just more so navigating the mind of what's the worst that could happen, or the mindset of I can't handle this. So as I was navigating that, I decided that I wanted to move forward with the abortion. And 2 days before the abortion, the program that called me for the grant that I got for the procedure, they called me and told me that, well, actually it was the clinic that called me. And they called me first and told me that the clinic was going to be closed because of a snowstorm that Minnesota was going to be experiencing with 27 inches of snow. So I'm like, wow. And right after, the program called me and told me that the flights were canceled for that day going into Minnesota. And they also, you know, wanted to reschedule me to go to Maryland. And so I just thought that it would be best for me to go to Maryland at that time, right? But it was very weird, the shifty energy of how nature would just send a storm, you know, to stop you from doing what you feel like you want to do in the moment. And through that storm, although the significance of that snowstorm for me, it really created a shift in my mindset, because mind you, I had already been pregnant for a few months now, right? And so I was already feeling like this is not something I really want to do, you know. And by the time they scheduled me to Maryland and we moved forward with that, it was putting me at 21 weeks. And at that moment, I knew that I had to keep this baby. And it kind of broke my heart, because I did not want to go through the same experience of being pregnant alone as I did with my previous daughter, Lyrical, because that was really hard and I've never experienced that before. So I decided to go ahead and shift my mindset. And it was at that moment that I started to realize, like, wow, I've been so focused in on I can't do this, that I haven't even given the Most High the opportunity to show me what can happen through this experience. And I'm somebody who really strongly believes that you do right by your kids, you raise your kids up to be right quality people, you pour into your kids, you love on your kids, that you will be blessed in life, in every single area of your life, because children, they truly hold the foundation for the future. And when you are pouring into that, the potential of what that could be, that's really the whole duty of us as humans, I believe, is to pour into those children, because those children are going to become adults as well. So I'm shifting my mindset around the pregnancy, and you know, I'm like, you know what, cool, I'm pregnant, it is what it is. I have 5 kids, I have a number 6, it's cool. Although my boys are raised by their father, so I don't technically raise my boys. I do raise Clarity and Lyrical. I felt like having a number 3 wasn't as horrible as if it was, you know, if I had my hands full with all of the kids. So I'm very thankful that they have a solid father in their life, because this would have been a very different situation. So I decided to take a gender sneak peek test, the same test that I did with Lyrical. And the reason why I did that is because I had already put in my mind that I wanted to avoid ultrasounds this pregnancy. I didn't really want to see the baby. I wanted to have a very natural and pleasant experience where I could actually pour into myself and begin to understand myself more, like my anatomy. So I went and I got the gender test, and I, you know, did the lancet. There's 2 different versions that they have. They have the lancet, and I think they have like the poker or something. I can't remember the name. But sneak peek gender testing, you can Google it. They will ship it out to you. You pay, I think I paid $120 in total for next day processing. So they ship you out the kit, you take the test, and they have the box already ready to be shipped back out. You ship it out, and it goes to the closest lab in your area, and then they post the lab results the following day. And I found out I was having another girl. So I was like, wow, 3 boys, 3 girls. Like, that's actually kind of cool. Like, thank you, Most High. Thank you for blessing me, blessing the fruit of my womb. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for being healthy. Thank you for just being able to birth these children. As you guys know, I birthed all of my kids natural. She is also going to be a natural home birth. And honestly, my boys weren't born at home, but I did have 2 I did have 2 birth center births with my second and my third. But my girls were actually home birth babies. So I think that's very symbolic for me. I think my daughter's coming after, because obviously I've been a mom for 10 years. But it's something about these last 5 years that have really set the tone for how I am positioning myself to move and how I've just been moving forward, because girls really bring out this side of me that makes me realize, like, I really have to be intentional about not allowing them to live in my shadow because of what I want to do and because of my needs. And so it creates this really different type of level of maturity for me. And I'm just very thankful because they're my daughters. Like, you know, like, they're like, oh my gosh, my girls. So I found out I'm having a girl and I'm excited about it. And I decided I was going to do my own prenatal care. So this whole entire pregnancy, I've been taking care of myself, doing my multivitamins, my prenatal vitamins. I also been taking ashwagandha, which I mainly took in the beginning half of my pregnancy, mainly second trimester-ish. Ashwagandha was really, really helpful for me just with my fear around myself. I had moments where I did have some anxiety around how I was going to provide, what was going to be my next move, where was I going to live, like certain things that I still needed to have stability for myself, because I don't have the things that I need in my mind. But I think that the ashwagandha helped me to not really feel that it was wrong. It helped me to really kind of have a clear mind. Like, okay, I don't have these things. What can I do to get these things? I don't have these things. How can I obtain these things? You know, and really setting the tone for strategizing and getting really organized. And the great thing about it is that I relaunched Zaraco, which is my skincare business, and I haven't ran that business for 2 years. Turn it down a little. I haven't ran that business for 2 years, and to come back now, I wanted to come back in a certain way because I wanted to create this community sense of an audience. I wanted to utilize UGCs, user generated creators. I wanted to utilize more varieties of faces versus my face all the time promoting my product. And the launch has been amazing. We just finished a summer clearance sale, and I'm getting ready to restock for September in the fall. And guess what? We are relaunching the King Dome collection, which is the men's line. So I have some really good stuff that's coming out for the men's, because y'all been asking me, like, and I know my brothers, they love the black saliva, but I wanted to rebrand the King Dome collection and make it for you guys, because at the end of the day, men need a skincare routine and a skincare regimen just as much as women, okay? It's very important, but we're gonna save that for another topic. I'm gonna get on you guys about skincare routines and understanding the skin at a later point. So I think that through my obedience, the Most High was able to bless me with the opportunity to reopen, because I didn't have that in my mind originally. For those who've been following me, last year when I was with her dad, we was really working towards a homestead. A homestead has always been like my goal. I want to have my homestead. I want to be a homemaker. I want to be raising my kids. I want to be working with my hands and just in tune with nature, in tune with the Most High. So that experience showed me that I could obtain that. Although I didn't hold it for X, Y, and Z many a times, sometimes we have to realize that, and I have this conversation with my sisters all the time, when you are manifesting, that is the mental action. But manifesting allows the thing to be there already. So the moment that you manifest and you think about something that you want or desire, it's already manifesting. It isn't until you actualize it. Actualizing it is putting the physical work, having it in the physical where you are, I manifested this house, now I am actualizing this house because now I'm living in this house. So I think that with the homestead that we were trying to do last year and just the experience in that relationship, I think that it was a middle ground between the manifestation and the actualization, but it wasn't completely actualized. So, you know, my focus was on the homestead. It really wasn't on entrepreneurship at the time. And so coming back full circle to relaunching Zarico, I now have a different vision of where I want to take Zarico and how I want to brand Zarico. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to share with you guys the things that I have in mind. I can't wait to share with you guys just the vision as a content creator, as a branding specialist, as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as an artist. The shit is gonna be lit, and it's gonna have a lot to do with a homestead, because I am intentionally actualizing my homestead as we speak. So this birth is a rebirth of myself as well. And as much as I want to be like, oh, I'm 39, I'm 30 now, I got my mind together, I don't. It's real ghetto up in here. And it's okay because my process is my process, and you just never know who is going through similar things with you, because this pregnancy, I did not announce it at all. I did that intentionally because I really was healing so many parts of myself. I would say for the first month and a half of 2023, I just spent it in my room in silence. I barely talked on the phone, except, you know, a couple of my sisters that would call me to check on me. I barely talked on the phone. I didn't go outside. I was just in complete four walls, and I felt bad for my daughters because a lot of the times they was right there in the room with me. I tried to entertain them as much as I could, but I just was processing so much. It was so heavy. It was so weighing, the pregnancy in the beginning, that it's just crazy to see where I'm at right now with it, because people don't even know how deep and how dark and how depressed I was really, like, after my breakup, and in between my breakup and in between me deciding to keep the baby, which was like about 2.5 months. Those 2.5 months were extremely intense for me. And like I said, through my obedience, opportunities began to come, but I think that it gave me an opportunity to redesign myself, because it's like, damn, I don't want to be the one with all these baby fathers, right? Because in this society, you're not viewed as, you know, smart or intelligent or beautiful if you have X, Y, and Z amount of baby fathers. But the thing is with me is that I feel like all of these connections were intended to help me in this exact moment to grow my legacy. You know, these children are connected to different lines and different lineages, and I think that syncs what I'm doing and what I will be doing all together, and I love that. So, you know, I'm just really getting out of my thoughts during this whole pregnancy. I'm working on myself. I'm meditating. You know, I'm focusing back on Big Black Brand as well, my branding agency, which is really my purpose. My purpose is really knowing how to create content and just being really passionate about it as well. And because some people think content creators are just, you know, clout, just want to be, no, we content creators like to inspire people, and we have a creative, artistic side of us that allows us to do so in such a beautiful way. And so as I was going within myself, I kind of was trying to gauge when I was going to tell the world that I was pregnant. But when I turned 32 weeks was when I made my announcement. And one of the way that I made my announcement was, you know, just a IG reel. But it wasn't until the following week that I started to share what I do in a non-traditional way this time around with my pregnancy, that some people will be upset about. And I shared that you know, I did my own gender test. I denied ultrasounds. I didn't have no doctors. I did my own prenatal care, and I am planning on unassisted birth, as well as I will be encapsulating my placenta again like I did with Lyrical, and I will be using sacred medicine in everything that I do, because I understand a different level of myself, and I feel like I am in a space as a woman to know my anatomy without the OBGYN having to tell me, without, you know, the radiation of the ultrasound having to show me. It's okay, because with me, I know myself. I know my body. I know my womb. I know the symptoms of something being off. I know my intuition, and really surrendering into that, that's God's word. Being able to trust the Most High, being able to trust yourself, and being able to trust and tap into the instinct of real raw motherhood. And so that post really blew up, because so many people had questions, because also I said, you know, I don't vaccinate the babies after that too. So, you know, this is very non-traditional. These are things that people are like, what? Because everybody treats birth as an emergency situation, it's so far-fetched, where it's like, what, you're birthing by yourself? What, you didn't do an ultrasound? You didn't do an ultrasound? How would you know if the baby is okay? I mean, what would you do if the baby wasn't okay? The baby is already in your stomach, it's already developing. It's not going to change anything by you knowing the ultrasound. So at the end of the day, I think everybody has the freedom to knowledge and has the access to knowledge. And I think that our society has unfortunately taken away the beauty and the essence of birthing in confidence, and the ability to just have the knowledge that birth is not an emergency situation. Birth is not an emergency situation. Birth is not an emergency situation. It could be beautiful, it could be joyful, it could be overwhelmingly everything that you could ever think of. And it's a rites of passage, because oftentimes these things are taken away from women the moment that they step foot in a hospital establishment. Recently I was looking at an article that's been trending on all the social platforms about a Georgia couple whose baby had got decapitated during delivery by a black physician who forcefully was pulling the baby's head out of the mother's vagina during labor. And when the head disconnected from the body, she tried to schedule a C-section, but the C-section didn't come until 3 hours later. 3 hours after the C-section, they wrapped the baby, even though the baby was already unalive. They wrapped the baby and they handed the baby to the mother, and they tried to make it seem as if the baby was perfectly fine. And then they announced that the baby was dead, or whatever, however they announced it. But she continued to, she began to suggest that they cremated the baby, because they did not want this couple to get an autopsy, and they did not want this couple to see that the baby's head was completely off or dislocated. And I think that that is so wild, because when you look at it, and this happened in Georgia, Atlanta, and Riverdale, and when you look at it, you see that these physicians aren't employees of the hospitals. That physician was an employee of Riverdale Hospital. These physicians are independent contractors who come in and they are able to do services within the hospital as a physician under a contract. It's just crazy, because it's like, where is the accountability? Who do we hold accountable for the unruly amount of black mortality from women and black infant mortality in these hospitals? And that's just something I'm always going to stand on. I'm always going to stand on the fact that there is an attack on the black womb, and it has been an attack for many, many generations. And this isn't hate speech. this isn't a way to take away from other cultures and womanhood and their wombs, because we know that your children are alive. And there's not a big call or cry specifically to your culture as it pertains to infant mortality. So it's not to take away from anybody, but it's to highlight that something is going on within my community that isn't right. Right? And so that's why I say confidently birth at home. And so that's why I created a Black Woman's Guide to Home Birth. And shout out to a Black Woman's Guide to Home Birth, because I'm still getting sales to this day. And you know, I launched it in 2022, January 2022. So it's been about a year and a half. I made over about $1,000. Yeah, it's been over. I was just looking at my Etsy. I made around $1,000, and y'all know my book was $11. And it's been $5 since I announced my pregnancy, because I was doing so much numbers, because I was telling people about the things that I don't do during birth. And my call to action was to purchase my book if you wanted to get more information about it. And so more people has been buying the book now as well. Every other day or every week or so, I am getting a little Etsy notification. Shout out to Etsy. Shout out to digital products in general. So it's been beautiful overall, not just with the the pregnancy experience, but it's been literally beautiful with the overall transformation of how I view birth. And so something else that happened to me was that my friend I reached out and asked me to assist her daughter in a natural home birth, and I was able to do that. And that was such a beautiful experience, because I've never, you know, helped assist a birth outside of me assisting my own self with a birth. So that really put things in perspective, that obviously women, birthing, motherhood is really my niche. And I really want to take some time to really take that and cultivate that to the next level, because I do feel like maybe I do belong in the birthing space. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment. But I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm inspired to be a part of it. I have the experience to share, you know, enough about it, you know, and I think that, you know, putting aside a book, a Black Woman's Guide to Home Birth, into the community has been already a big contribution, because people have told me that the book has helped. And it's a small ebook, but let's look out for volume 2, the real printout, because we need a hard copy for every single midwife, every single doula, every single OBGYN that are dealing with Black women. They all need a copy, right? So I am 40 weeks plus 2 days. I am preparing my mind around this baby girl, Ariel, and I'm just so excited to meet her. Me and the girls have been waiting. I am feeling a lot of pressure. I've been doing some things like walking. I'm really trying to avoid, you know, really trying to heavy induce myself, like with castor oil or mother's brew or something like that. I'm just trying to flow and trying to give her, you know, the last little bit of time that she may need, because I really don't believe in a due date. I always go to 10 months, 42 weeks. So, and I've even read people going to 43, 45 weeks as well. So at the end of the day, let's not limit what women, what we are as women. Let's not put a limitation to what we should experience in the birthing space. I really encourage you guys to tap deep into your knowing, tap deep into yourself when you are pregnant, if you are trying to get pregnant. I really want the mothers who are going through their pregnancy alone to know that you are still so beautiful, you are still so worthy, you are still so powerful, and never feel like because your situation isn't what it is for like other people in the society, the perfect dream and reality, never feel like you are less of because of that, because these kids they really take us out of situations, and they really help us to elevate more than we think. And a lot of that energy possibly needed to be moved out anyway. Brothers, I ask that you, if you know a black woman that is pregnant, that you love her, that you show her love, that you show up for her, especially if that is the mother of your child. Putting differences aside, taking accountability for yourself and your actions, reflecting and transforming your character is very important, but also removing your pride. If you have a sister that is pregnant, brothers, I ask that you get a copy of A Black Woman's Guide to Home Birth for her. You know, if you have a friend, shoot, even a mother that's pregnant, because we be having kids, so we 40, 45, 46, 47, 50 even. I love you guys so much. I cannot wait to start creating more content and showing you guys how I navigate motherhood, and also showing you guys this beautiful home birth that is going to take place. Send me all the well wishes, drop a comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. I hope this video was very helpful. Make sure that you subscribe if this is your first time on the channel, and I hope that this is a safe place for you. I'm letting you know right now that this is a safe place for you, and we're gonna get ready to build a stronger, tight bonded community. Peace out.